real time. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are already subscribed, that means that you are already a fine girl. So welcome back, fine girls. So today we are going to just be talking, and I'm gonna be eating, and I'm gonna try to eat and talk at the same time. Okay, so I'm gonna get my food out, mix it all up and all that stuff. Okay. I'm not sure how this is gonna taste because I sniffed it and it did not make me sneeze. So I just hope it tastes really good. So let's start off talking about this LaShondra and RaeShanda thing, because that is just really messy. I'm waiting for more things to come out about it because it's just real crazy. All right, so RaeShanda Lias-Lockhart, she is known for being a fashionable person on TikTok. She was originally she's originally from Chicago, but she moved to Mississippi. She went to school in Kentucky, and that's basically her home base. Well, while she was in Kentucky, she met her girlfriend, now future ex-wife, LaShonda. Now, LaShonda and her, they have been knowing each other for about 10 years. LaShonda is currently a pastor, and this is going to be important for the story because LaShonda frequently tries to use the fact that she's a pastor and tries to weaponize the Bible and what, you know, her being a pastor against others, and more so to support her tomfoolery. And that's why it's important, if you are a Christian, to know your Bible when people try to quote scripture and they use a verse when the context is really important. So let's get into this, and I'm going to be eating this seafood boil. Dang it, I gotta peel it completely. See, I'm a little lazy. Like, the amount you pay for this, I should not have to peel some of the shrimp skin off. Like, I know they should have given me some more sauce. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give y'all a rundown of everything that happened between them, and then I'll just follow up with, we're gonna talk about it. So first of all, RaeShanda, I find it really hard to believe that RaeShanda did not know anything that was going on. I feel like her wife is about to get in some trouble, so what she's doing to try and protect herself and secure her bags is to try to look like she knew nothing at all about any of the scammery. Like, a lot of times people be becoming pastors so they can get the tax write-off, so they can like get discount and stuff. Like, it comes with a lot of benefits. People be funneling stuff through churches. But that's another video for another day. So apparently LaShonda was going to RaeShanda's friends, asking them for like basically $1,000 in some cases. And in one of the instances, she claimed she, as in RaeShanda, told one of LaShonda told one of RaeShanda's friends that she needed it for XYZ, right? I don't remember what. LaShonda told RaeShanda that her friend gave the $1,000 to them as a gift. Alright. And they got married around that time, so it made sense. It wasn't too far-fetched. But it kind of makes me question her friends, because if someone's spouse asks me for money, I'm gonna go to my friend regardless. I'm gonna be like, hey, you know, like, I don't know if it was like this person's trying to get you a surprise gift or something, but they reached out to me, they wanted some money. They asked me to loan some money. I just gave it to y'all because, you know, if you pay me back, you pay me back. If you don't, you don't. Because a lot of times when you give money, you gotta give it with the expectation that you're not gonna get something in return potentially. And it depends on who your friends are, right? You know your friends, or most people think they know their friends. So there's that. Never give what you can't afford to lose. So we don't know what was the case for that friend, but it's just real shaky. So basically LaShonda, she went to all the friends asking them for money. Now what she used the money for, I don't know. Apparently RaeShanda don't even know what her wife used the money for. I'm like, y'all together, but y'all don't even have like not one shared account? Okay. You have no clue what she used it for. Okay, so let's go on for, and you know, that's possible, especially if you do have some separate accounts and stuff. It's possible not to know what somebody else used the money for if y'all have separate accounts, which is good to have a separate account from someone you're married to. So, more time goes fast. LaShondra learns more information. You know, she eventually has an eviction notice on her house, and she had been paying her wife, LaShondra, the money to go and pay for whatever bills. Now, before you get evicted, you get plenty of reminders before you are actually evicted. And it's not like they randomly gonna be like, oh, you know what, we're evicting you. Like, it takes time, it's a process you have to go through before you actually evict someone. So that's the part that kind of, you know, caught me by surprise. But it's possible that, you know, maybe LaShondra, she was taking the previous warnings off of the door. Who knows? I'm wondering, were there any red flags that LaShondra was not paying attention to because she was, you know, so engulfed in, I mean, RaeShanda was so engulfed in LaShondra and her love for her? Because it's definitely giving scam, you know? This is so good. I was talking all this stuff. I think I would have added a bit more of something to this, but it's not bad. Alright, so another thing, y'all, with this situation. I know a lot of times people can get like gaslit in situations. And I'm not saying that, you know, RaeShanda knew everything. But I don't think she's as innocent as she's making herself out to be. One, because of not recently, but while all this was happening, the tenants were coming out. The tenants of the place. LaShondra is not only a pastor or a preacher, but she's also a property manager of some low-income housing. So people were coming on the TikTok talking about everything that had been going on with them, their different interactions with LaShondra. So, for example, one person said she's been very mean to them, and they were telling this to RaeShanda after the fact, by the way. I should have got it like a little spicier. Alright, so that's one thing. And it basically kind of seems like people don't just randomly start acting some type of way out of the blue. Like, a piece of that was always in them, but most likely, you know, people just ignore certain things because they're in love, or, you know, they want to expect the best out of someone. They bypass it thinking, oh, you know what, this person, they'll get better over time, when it just gets worse over time. Because you begin to let people know the behavior that you accept and what you're okay with. So apparently LaShondra would blow up and post like her different interactions with, like, you know, little kids in the neighborhood. For example, saying what she gonna do or give to them. For example, promising them toys, right? And she would post it online, and that is one of the weirdest things. I feel like if you do not own or trying to launch a nonprofit, and if you are genuinely doing something out of the kindness of your heart, there is no reason for you to post it on social media. That means you are doing that more for yourself than to help the person that you call yourself helping out. And RaeShanda would do things like that. But anything for clout, right? So that happens. In the past, tenants have came to RaeShanda about her wife complaining about her. Now, I get the first one. The first one, you know, like, okay, I know who the person I married is and all that. Maybe it's a specific situation that person's upset. Okay, depending on what the person says. Okay. But if people keep coming up to you and they're generally kind of saying the same things, all these people can't be lying about one person. They can't all be lying. But yeah, it makes me question, you know, how much she really knew But I don't think she knew absolutely nothing. I think she probably like one of those people, like, people have gotten on me in the past saying like, oh, just because someone did someone dirty for whatever reason, it doesn't mean that they'll do that to you. I don't do that. I'm very big on loyalty. So let's say somebody did X, Y, and Z to a friend of mine and I think it's wrong. I'm not going to be friends with that person, because if they did that to their friend, what would make me different? And I think a lot of times that's where girls mess up, because they get in a relationship with someone thinking that, let's say, this guy will treat them differently because they're different. Like, no, that's that person's character, and how they treat that person will be how they treat you, unless they, you know, go to therapy and, like, you know, heal from whatever trauma or experiences that they've had in the past. Then maybe, you know, the person can change. So I'm not saying people can't change, but I'm saying you individually cannot change a person. They have to need to change. So I say all of that to say that I think RaeShanda, she had some inkling, she had some ideas here and there. She wanted to ignore her discernment, potential warnings, or, you know what, if no one really warned her, it could be because she's that type of person to be like, to not believe what her friends or loved ones might say about someone because of, and that's why no one told her. But ultimately, even if people did tell her, it would have been her choice to decide whether she wanted to stay in that situation or leave. Because when you think about it, they were in a relationship for 10 years, right? Well, y'all can correct me on this, but they have been together for 10 years. They got married, I think, in 2016. So I guess they were in a relationship maybe 5 or 6 years before they got married. I hope I'm doing the math right. But I feel like people, for the most part, they know if they want to marry someone, or they can see themselves marrying someone within, like, I think sooner, but I'll be generous and I'll say between 1 or 2 years. I feel like most people have an idea of if they want to spend the rest of their life with this person, or if they can spend the rest of their life with the person that they're dating. They've been together 10 years and she didn't have a little inkling, something didn't seem a little off, especially if she in your pockets. Trust me, I'm gonna pay attention to my pockets, like. But you know what, people, you know, they trust who they're with, so whatever. Okay, there's that. Everyone can say what they would do. But yeah, all in all, I said that because I felt like RaeShanda, I feel like she had, I'm not saying she knew everything, but she had an idea. Like, for example, let's say you have a kid and they a dealer, and they coming home with all this money, but they claim they work at McDonald's. Something is not adding up. I think there was some moments like there in that, and maybe she just doesn't want to say that because it'll make her look bad. And people might start to look into her and her businesses. I think that might have an idea. That may have something to do with it. So she's trying to distance herself. Let me look as innocent as possible because I don't want them looking through my stuff. That's what I think it is. Because I've seen situations where people have gotten scammed by someone they love, but they're never completely oblivious. Like, there was always like that little thing that they can like go back on and be like, you know what, that didn't add up. But she is not. She's playing the I'm completely innocent, I had no idea what was going on. So y'all tell me your thoughts below in the comment section, what y'all think about this LaShondra and LaShondra situation. This is so big, but I'm happy that I don't have to mess with my fingers.